until we figure out what to do with him.
What are you putting him through here?
Put him in the chair.
Oh wait, he can stand witness.
Yeah, stand witness. Oh.
Bear witness.
What do you guys say or do after that harrowing fight? As Nelson Graham is just half, like he's just dazed and like fading in and out of consciousness.
Is Harvey Shepard smoking a cigar?
He is.
All right,
he's
cool.
just clapping.
So
He's just clapping.
I mean, that means smoking's allowed. Yugi's gonna pull out a cigarette.
Yeah, I guess. Artis will just point at Nelson and so. There's your prey.
Message of Dr. Keelan.
Hello? Okay, there we go.
You chopped off Daniel's arm.
Go ahead.
What,
Oh, is that what happened to your arm?
Restrain that one for me. Beautiful pale man.
What?
Yeah, I got my arm cut off by him.
Ah.
Yeah, Artis, I guess, will restrain that man. I don't know why he looks... he does not look like he's gonna move.
He's really good at...
Bella, it seems you got better.
For how thin drawn Keelan looks, you see that he is upholding Nelson Graham with also the tendrils protruding from his almost 2D-like face.
Flowey,
Terrible mental and physical damage onto him, but not enough to turn him into a vegetable. Daniel, he appears to be, if the stories are true, that Carcosa is a faraway planet inhabited by humans, then he might be a Carcosan human, just a member of the a member of a forgotten order of like mystics, essentially. So this guy is just, for all intents and purposes, like a corrupted human.
That's been staying too long in Carcosa.
Yeah. And you see the duality between him and Harvey Shepard. And Harvey Shepard is pristine and A-okay.
Yeah. Another question.
What's up?
Yeah, that's it.
It's the equivalent of someone casting like Phantasmal Calamity or Phantasmal Killer, you know, like those sorts of spells.
Yeah, it's not innate to them. It's somewhat new. Got it.
Yeah. And as Nelson Graham, he looks like he's in the process of throwing up. He has like nothing to give. Drawn Killing goes, "Don't worry. All contracts, whatever left, precisely 6 of them have been destroyed, my lord." And Harvey nods. He goes, "Go ahead, let the ladies in now. Mr. Von Butcher, I want you to have something. A gift from me to you."
I think I know what the gift is.
Could you take a guess?
It's something you took and you're gonna give back.
It's even better.
Maybe.
Than that.
I'm going to take off the glove and like pull out the sleeve so the entire arm is shown, like the arc arm, and just extend it.
And he places something in your hand. And as he unfurls it, he goes, "I want you to have this."
Oh, you're a funny one.
It's a kind of little version of me. I want you to have it.
Is it living?
It just screams catchphrases at him.
Is it living?
I mean, it appears to be just at least sentient.
Oh, that's awful.
Now, whether or not it has like thinking, whether or not it's like a basic familiar, you can't quite tell.
Start screaming, contract.
And then I appreciate this gift.
Now Molly won't have to be alone.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying implication.
I'm gonna place the tiny Danielle on top of Doretta. just leave it there.
Dorda looks up and says, "Hi."
Tiny Daniel is not able to speak, but it does appear to understand language.
Can't speak. I keep looking at the fucking...
Wait. hold on.
Very important, extremely important. Who's
Hold on.
taller?
Hold on, put him.
Tiny
hold on.
Danielle or Molly?
Tiny Daniel is slightly taller.
Oh,
Mogged.
oh.
She doesn't need to know. She doesn't need to be upset.
Harvey Shepard announces. He goes, I hope you all don't mind. This won't take a few minutes. No, not to Haley. And Haley goes, my favorite part of this whole thing. Alright, boys, time for you to join the flock. As she brings out a cane, and she begins to point towards the two men, and they begin to keel over, fall over, and begin to scream out a blood-curdling scream across the room as you watch as part of their human bones and muscles are beginning to try to like escape from their own body before they're twisted, their arms kind of thinning out, their skin and hair mutating as the two men are no longer recognizably human. As at this point, you all connect the dots about the lost sheep of Harvey Shepard. As Haley Shepard looks over and she goes, look at that, Daddy. Now we got more sheep. And I made sure to turn this one here into a female. Just because we're running out of them. Hold on.
Congratulations on their transitioning.
This is what the woke agenda does to you.
Dronkeil
This
and
is
go,
the
don't
one.
worry, my lord. I'll be very careful with these ones. I think some of the boys have been very, very antsy as well. As you see the sheep looking back at you, and you can't quite tell, but maybe there's a small resemblance of human eyes in there. Yellow human eyes as they leave the door. Giving only the roughed up white dress shirt. You go, should I take off the tie too?
No more than necessary.
He goes, good. I imported this thing from the Barbary pirates back in the day.
Perhaps it's time you become a new man, since you're leaving behind this and all.
Maybe. I want you to leave a message from someone I care about. When you see Mr. Suleiman Mala, tell him they'll have to save our conversation for another day.
That asshole.
Tell him prepare for unforeseen consequences.
It's all
Hard
right.
to say.
Listen to Mr. Artis. He has a level-headed nature about all this. It's a shame, Mr. Artis. You were one of my best followers. Truly don't know what happened back then to make you change your ways.
Conflict. I suppose decadence might have been it, or too much order. Whoever got me into the war came out a changed man. But so it must have happened to you too.
Alas, a human memory is not meant to last for eternity.
That much is true, Papa. That much is true. Good luck, Mr. Yukimiya. You have many cases to solve, I'm sure. You're still very young, right?
That I do.
I wish you the best of luck, Sherlock. Shrugged Artis. I really don't know what to say to you. You're still very mysterious and vague.
I like to keep it that way.
Ooh. You know, some of the ladies like that.
They do.
Of course.
That's troublesome.
Here, I'll give you the directions to a famous literature bookstore. Lots
I'm
of ladies
afraid I have
presumes that.
I have business to attend to. My work here is done. I trust you can take the cover story, Yuki?
I'll come up with something.
Well, I'll have a visit to Blackchapel, and then I'll be off.
Mr. Shepard said he was okay with me learning from Molly and seeing where my powers take me.
I see. Do you know the painter Olin?
Of course, yeah. I know Olin.
Stop by his shop before you actually leave Blackchapel. He's painting a portrait of who we knew as Linnell, but who you would know as Gleaming Lily.
Oh, that's right.
I commissioned it after her passing, but you can have it.
No, are you sure?
Please, her pink body and hair wouldn't really fit my detective's office.
Ah, fair enough. Alright, I'll be sure to stop by Mr. Olin's place. Alright, I'll see you all later. I'll be right back and pack my things, Molly.
Oh, and he's gonna almost forget to mention Molly. Or Molly and say, and thank you for your help too, Mrs. Molly. Take care of Ariadne, okay?
But my life is on the line.
Will nod and begin making his way out the door, and passing his sister will say, "Well, drop by every now and then to visit you."
Please do. This manor will be terribly and dreadfully lonely for quite some time. I would love your company. It would give us some time to catch up on a lot.
Got to know we do. And he will ruffle Rumi's hair and then wave everyone off, and then he will make his way back to the clinic.
You ruffle her hair. She has a small smile as you make your way back to the clinic.
I gotta get paid!
Stands the test of time. Whether you're here or you're there during the last days.
She will like look over to take a look over to Danielle and say, she will also like whisper, I am aware Mr. Daniel tends to be a bit narcissistic and egocentric, but I believe if what he speaks is true, at least of his goal, he has a flawed, although a noble one. He seeks to assist those who would come after him in vanquishing monsters or how to deal with them. What I'm trying to say is, I cannot speak for him as a whole, but from my experience, he's not at all as horrible as a person as he claims to be.
I'll keep that all in mind when we discuss the statuses of his contract.
Well, that being said, I think Mr. Redden is calling me.
You take it easy now, Molly.
You too, sir, Mr. Shepard, and well, Mr. Daniel, I would say it was nice meeting you, but you told me to forget about you, so I will do so.
And I very much appreciate that. That's why I will remember you.
Well, honestly, I'm growing quite tired of our charade here.
You don't say.
He'll look over. He'll sign the contract, making the prior contract null and void, as that paper too will disintegrate into fairy dust.
Yep.
Breathe that air, Von Butcher. You are a somewhat more free man than you were a moment ago.
You could keep the tiny me. Oh.
Tiny Daniel looks in your direction, Daniel, with a little bit of sadness.
Father, don't abandon me.
With a little bit of sadness, that's how I know this is not me. That's how I know.
Shandanya, with a little bit of sadness.
Father, don't abandon me.
With a little bit of sadness, that's how I know this is not me. That's how I know.
It's a homunculus.
You know what? If he has a little bit of a sadness, what do I do?
You name him Victor.
Victor with the W.
I'll just rip another piece of paper, and I'll give it to him, and I'll say, if you can write something I don't know, and find a solution to something I cannot know, you can go try to find me, and then we can be together. How about that?
He'll nod solemnly. As you two will leave.
A freak of nature.
They will rebuild, and that if it weren't for the cooperation that you and the others had brought in, they would have sustained like straight up just deaths, and that many of them probably wouldn't have survived without the help of you and the others who had joined the village to defend against the Cornell mercenaries. And as for the Cornell mercenaries on this side of the village or the hamlet, most of them have either been taken prisoner or fled, probably being lost in the swamp, having successfully left the swamp, or been captured by other more hideous elements lurking within. That's not your place to really know. They have made their decisions, and now they must suffer their consequences for that. All you have to do is just move on to the next path, wherever Mushi and the winds of nature lead you.
Yes.
In the way that you might assume it.
You sure don't look like it.
I think that might have been God's blessing.
Yes, might be. I won't understand why you would hold on to that faith then.
Which faith?
Eru.
I have been through many harrowing trials, and I think where I've ended up is where I'm meant to be. You could say the same for yourself, though I understand your connection to the divine is more esoteric.
I suppose you could say that.
I hope it's in good company, and that for all the trials you must face ahead, I hope you do find the rest that you deserve.
Some part of me believes I'll never rest, but I dare hope there is a day when I can. Today, I don't think so. I hope to never see you again, Suleiman. But if I do, I hope I'm here in time.
He'll nod. I'll say, God be with you, Artis.
And then he'll planeswalk
Oh my god.
again.
It's nice to see you again. So I've trying to recover from the couple of shots. Not really good at holding my liquor. Everything go out well?
Everything went well, although unfortunately I don't believe you're going to be... Your sister is going to be doing a little bit of traveling with the puppets, Molly.
That's fine. I think it wouldn't feel right for her to be readily assimilated back into the family. It's what made her want to leave in the first place. I think I'll trust Miss Molly. I've looked into her credentials, and she's done excellent work in Hypatia University, and well, she's a full-blown doctor in her own right. Little thing is very adorable, but she is capable by the looks of her mech. I trust what she'll do. She'll make for a good guardian.
I'm sure she will too.
I hope you don't mind.
Yuki will shrug and say, "Oh, as long as I get whatever compensation you could afford. It's all fine with me.
Thank you so much. I mean, you've solved, what, like 2 disappearances in one go? That's a pretty impressive track.
It's, well, not to be too modest, but it's all in a day's work. Just what I do.
Have you considered taking up the offer with Mr. Adrian Weissman? Perhaps working together on take a case or two? Zorea's finest private detective with Zorea's up-and-coming detective.
I haven't spoken with... I almost said Professor Weissman for a hot second. Jesus Christ,
Holy
what the
moly.
fuck? Whoa.
Hey, you, Adrian Weissman.
With Detective Weissman in quite some time. I'll consider it, but I think both of us prefer to work alone for the most part.
I understand. Well, remember, if there's any particularly tough case, you know who to call. And the next time you find yourself injured here, we'll consider shaving off the bill entirely, right?
I wouldn't want to do that to you. You already run this clinic for free for the most part. I wouldn't want to put you in any debt at all.
You're very sweet, Yukimiya. Thank you.
I try to be well. If you need anything else, Dr. Blackwell. And you too, Dr. Silme. You know where my office is.
They'll nod. And Emily will say, take care, darling, okay?
Yuki will nod.
Emily's always mentioned various places across Terra. And a lot of the historical pieces and religious themes come from Terra. I guess it makes sense to go back there for artistic inspiration.
Right. Another thing is, well, I will have to, if you don't mind, have to run some experiments on you. Nothing, harmful, of course. Just to, try and figure out how exactly is that power of yours work.
Oh, right. That would be... I'm perfectly fine with that.
Well, Ida, I am sad to say, I haven't exactly found the answer we were looking for, but look on the bright side, we made a new friend.
She woes over at Ida, very enthusiastic. So I've actually seen the night sky, and the place that we'll be going to soon.
Ah, I have seen a night sky that will last me a lifetime. Several, actually. Well, that's a story for another day. Rest up for the time being. We shall head out early in the morning.
Alright. Well, thank you so much for taking me under your wing, Molly. It means a lot.
My pleasure.
And she'll go to reach down and give you a hug.
Yeah, since she cannot really reach her back to pet it, so she's gonna pet her cheek.
And with that, you all spend a moment's time here before eventually embarking on a grand astral voyage to the cradle of humanity.
Want with it.
I'll take this, Daniel. But if you want to do me a favor, then quit.
You know I can't do that. Besides, I gave you this beautiful gift. It's a gift. It's not a tree.
Well, I am not the kind of celestial being who you gain favor by gifts of sacrifice.
And I don't plan to. It's a simple gift, with nothing to ask for a return. Not even expecting something in return. Consider it a farewell gift.
It is dangerous for not only you, but it could be for the multiverse if your ambitions get the best of you.
Believe me, I tried stepping in planes and almost reached too far ambitiously. but I pulled myself back together, and you helped me with that pulling. So I thank you. But I cannot stop this work because even if I don't, someone else will. A thaumaturge's life is always dangerous. Plus, retirement does not fit me.
Well, suppose I can't convince you then.
Nope. Not this lifetime. But I pulled myself back together, and you helped me with that pulling. So I thank you. But I cannot stop this work because even if I don't, someone else will. A thaumaturge's life is always dangerous. Plus, retirement does not fit me.
Well, suppose I can't convince you then.
Nope. Not in this lifetime.
In that case, farewell, Von Butcher. And as I've said to Suleiman, I hope to never see you again.
Oh, the same goes for you, buddy.
And now...
Or fucking Chinese dragons landing every now and then.
Yeah.
I know it's a fantasy world, but dragons are dragons.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
It's like seeing a fuck-ass crocodile pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just if it's I continue like exploring the not just the entire world and basically continuing my journey of doing what I was always doing.
Absolutely.
But now I have a fucking pet dragon. And the second thing I wanted to do is I wanted to talk with my other contractor, the fucking the psychopomp.
Oh, that's right.
So I remember him having a. Did he have a contract job with me? I remember he had something connected with the swamp, or am I misremembering?
Oh, that was with the Lord of Willows. So that's all done.
That's all done.
Deaths of multiple Crenel mercenaries and those of the people of the hamlet. More importantly, Crenel has been booted out of this part of Zorea, and now are forced to take their residence elsewhere. But for all intents and purposes, Harvey Shepard, Secretary of Agriculture of Altissia and Zorea, has gone MIA, and the Beer Baron does successfully take the position as the Secretary of Agriculture, without much protest or without much resistance, actually. People seem to be generally A-okay with the Beer Baron's ascension to this office. This chapter in Zorean history comes to a close and a new one begins, as all of you continue to live your lives, whether or not Harvey Shepard returns. He waits on the horizon.
You know, you wound me, Glenn, asking me to work on plans.
Oh, don't worry. They have to be fun and chaotic.
You know I'm the type to like things being much more abrupt.
Spontaneous.
That's the word. But I serve.
He'll nod and he'll say, "Chaos calls, and the circus must perform. The show must go on." As they zoom out from the moon, also known as Luna, back towards the blue marble, on a little small series of islands, the land of the rising sun. And that is where we'll end the session proper.